Hello there guys, it's CoolFox over here, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing and review of the i500 Pros. So these are basically an Airpods replica and go for around $90 on the website in the link down below. And if you go around the box, you can see that it is quite similar to the actual box with the AirPods on the front here, just like the real one. And on the back you will find that it is also very similar to the original box. So this is a wireless charging case as well, just like the i500s that I reviewed a while ago, which I will compare these two. And apart from that, you also have the same writing here. So opening up the box, you will find the manual, which is a bit different than the real since it does not come inside of the cardboard casing. Then you will find the earbuds inside of a plastic bag. So included you'll find a USB Type-C to lightning cable here for charging, and this is just like the real AirPods Pro, but the color here does not match with the white ones found in the real box. And apart from that, as you can see, there are no ear tips included, so the only ear tips you will have are the ones pre-installed on the replicas themselves. So now going quickly through the manual, as you can see, everything is very similar to the real AirPods Pro, and basically this is just a copy and paste of the real manual onto a piece of paper here, which they just include for immersion. And now taking a look at the case itself, as you can see, it is very similar to the real AirPods. You also have the "Designed by Apple in California" writing here on the back. You do have the button and the metallic looking clamp right here, which is one of the only few differences you will find since this is actually plastic here instead of real metal. But apart from that, you can see that even the lightning port here on the bottom looks very similar. Obviously you can also charge this with the real cable, which I will talk about very soon since the original i500s could not charge with the real cable. The clamp also has the same amount of force and is actually a lot better than the i500s, which was a bit weak. And apart from that, you can even see the writing here on the inside of the case and also some writing on the bottom of the AirPods themselves. So as you can see, taking them out, it will display the battery of the case and the AirPods depending on how you take them out. So when I put in the AirPods, it will show the battery of that particular one. If I put in this one, it will show me the battery of that particular AirPod. And if I close, it will show me the battery of the case itself. And when these are on low battery, it will shine an orange light, which means that you have to charge them obviously. But this all depends also on the charge of the AirPods themselves. Now taking them both out and closing down the case and taking a closer look at them, you can tell that it is very similar to the real ones. So they did a really good job of replicating them. Now the only difference, as you can tell, is that there is no grill here on the back, only a touch sensor. Apart from that, this is the same problem where there is actually no grill, but they are going to implement this in the future as I have been in contact with the manufacturers. And as you can tell, basically it is a very good replica. Taking off the ear tip, you can also tell that it is very similar to the ones pre-installed on the real AirPods Pro. But the problem is that they do not include the other two sizes. You also have the little notch here, which does not work for active noise cancelling since they did not figure out a way to do it on a budget. So obviously when they implement that, these will probably go up a bit in price since this is going to be quite a difficult task to replicate at a cheap price. But apart from that, the touch controls here are very similar to the i500s, and instead of using the little bar here, they are controlled via touch sensitive settings on this part of the AirPod. So the same thing applies to the other one, and as you can tell, they are even marked here just like the real AirPods. So basically the touch controls are all done via this part right here. So to connect these up to your phone, if it's iOS, you can easily connect them by opening up the case and the pop-up window will appear here. But I will show you this on an Android phone since it's slightly more complicated, although not very complicated at all. And this is a OnePlus 6 right here, but it doesn't really matter which Android phone you have as these are all very similar. So to connect it up, you have to open up the case, go into pair a new device, and as you can see, the AirPods Pro came up right away. But before connecting, you need to press the button at the back and hold it down until a white light starts shining. So as you can see, the white light here is shining, and that means that you can go on and pair up the device. And there you can see that you can even view the battery percentage. And obviously to disconnect, all you need to do is close down the lid, have the AirPods inside, and as you will see, the AirPods Pro will go away by themselves, which means that these have disconnected successfully. To connect them up when they are already paired, all you need to do is turn on Bluetooth, open up the case, and you will see that they will connect up automatically without the need for any adjustments and there you see that they have just connected without any problems. So now talking a bit about the touch controls on the AirPods themselves, all you need to know is that when tapping once it will play or pause the media. If you hold down the left AirPod, you will see that Google Now will activate, and if you hold down the right AirPod, you can see that the same thing happens and Google Assistant will come up by itself. So now going onto Spotify here, as you can see, tapping once will play and pause the music, and as you can see right here, you can also pause them by tapping again, and by double tapping it will skip to the next track, and this can be for both the AirPods, so doing it on both can do the same thing, and triple tapping will go back to the previous song. So as you can see, it is very simple to control the media that you have playing, so these are quite useful even for those cases. Now these do have sensors which detect if they're in your ear or not, and basically they do work most of the time, although sometimes they will bug out a bit, and when they're in your ears they will think that they are not and basically play and pause the music for a while until they adjust and notice that they are inside your ears. But even when they're not, if you want to start or stop the music, you can do that as well. Although you might encounter a few bugs, such as when you tap it, for example, which will pause or play the music depending on how it detects it. And as you can see right there, in fact, it just paused. So you need to keep in mind that these are very early versions of the replica, so in time they will fix the sensors and they will make them better. Now as for sound quality, I have to say that these sound really good. At the same price you might find better earbuds. Obviously these are replicas, so apart from the sound, you are getting the benefit that they look exactly like the real AirPods Pro. And even the earbuds here, they do make a very good seal with your ear. So if you're on the bus, for example, or on the plane, you will not hear that much noise from outside, which is really good, and that is why these, in my opinion, are a lot better than the i500s. Now comparing these to the original i500s here on the right, you can tell that the case is different from the i500s. Obviously these are both trying to replicate the AirPods Pro in this case and the normal AirPods here on the right, but they do both feature wireless charging as well, so that is really good to see. And something that I am very impressed with the AirPods Pro Replica is that these charge with the real lightning cable that is supplied by Apple themselves. If you've seen the i500 video, you will know that these do not charge with the real lightning cable, and it might even damage the battery. So seeing that this one right here charges without any problems is amazing to see. So as for battery life, these have been pretty good, and I can say that the charge does last for about 5 to 6 hours with the case itself recharging the AirPods. You have to keep in mind that these are replicas, and obviously the battery will be a bit inferior to the real AirPods Pro. So just as a demonstration here, I have the real lightning cable, and plugging it in, you can see that the orange light will come on, it will stay solid, and then it will go away, unlike the original i500s. And for wireless charging, as you can see, I have a very cheap pad here, and with the original i500s, they started charging even when the power was not very strong, so that also resulted in the flashing of the LED. But with these here, you can see that they will not start charging unless they are put on exactly how they should be put on. And as you can tell here, now that I have found the correct position, it will light up, stay solid, and then it will go away, just like when it was plugged into the original lightning cable. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. This was CoolFox, and I'm out. Peace.